Kaushik is there, Kaushik is not there. So good afternoon all of you. So as we know that in last class we have discussed what is the various conditions required for photosynthesis reaction. So as we know, what is the conditions required, Rahari? One is carbon dioxide is needed and another one is
carbon dioxide, water,
and what is the role
carbon
of
dioxide,
chlorophyll
water.
as well as what is the role of sunlight. These are the 4 required conditions necessary for carrying out a chemical reaction known as photosynthesis. Is it? Yes or no? And as we know that out of this 4, any one of it is also not available, then the photosynthesis reaction is not carried out. So that is why you can see few leaves, the leaves only present in green color, the leaves which are present in green color are green color plants only will carry out the chemical reaction which we used to call as known as what? Photosynthesis reaction. Do you understanding all of you? Photosynthesis reaction. So the leaves which are not present in the green colors. So if you take decorative flowers or decorative plants, their leaves are not present in green color. Various colors of leaves are present, and some leaves are present. Some part of the leaf are green color, and some other part is having some other color. So if you observe, most of the plants in our surroundings, if you observe, they have colored, which colored leaves are? Most of the plants, if you observe in our surroundings, most of the plants. Understand what color they have? Most of the plants have green color.
Sir.
Correct or not? Hari, green colored leaves. So
yes, sir.
We'll take some.
Yes, sir.
Some other color plants, like in the sense of what is the main color. Some of the plants, like if you take, they have a leaves of other colors such as mainly red color, violet color, brown,
yellow, purple.
What is the other colors? Some other plants, they have a other colors like red color. What is that? Blue color. Do you understand, Ra? Brown
blue color, yellow color.
As well as violet color. Blue, violet, brown, etc. etc. Do you understanding all of you? Even yellow color also. Is it as? Yellow color.
Yes,
so that is what we can see. So if you observe, the leaves having these colors other than green color, is it they have chlorophyll or not? Is it they have chlorophyll or not?
No, sir.
No chlorophyll?
No, sir.
No chlorophyll? No chlorophyll?
Sir, I think so. There will be chlorophyll, but less amount of observing heat.
Really nice. Actually, Hari, remember, people will think that the plants, those
yes, sir.
Other than green color plants, they may not having chlorophyll in them, but the thing is actually the large amount of, if you take a red color, violet color, brown color, or the other pigments in such a leaves, they're having definitely some amount of understanding. The leaves mask the green color of chlorophyll. Definitely in such leaves mask the green color of chlorophyll. So the photosynthesis also takes place in leaves having colors other than green. Do you understanding all of you? Yes or no, Mari? So the leaves having other than green, also chlorophyll is present in them. That is what you have to remember. But large amount of other colors is present. Do you understanding, Amari? Hari? Yes or no, Hari? Tell me, Hari. That is what you have to remember. Now, if you observe, the photosynthesis everywhere, photosynthesis takes in leaves having other color, having color other than green. That is what you have to remember. Okay. I will show you some kind of a colored plant, leaves of various colors, which has been observed. Which has been observing in our surroundings. You can see they are having these kind of leaves in our surroundings or not. So please, all of you see it. So now you can observe here the leaves which are present in our surroundings. These kind of colors.
Sir, can you able to hear me?
Yeah, Mari. You can see here. These leaves are.
Sir, can you please say that from again?
Yeah,
I'm having some network issues.
Not only the green color plants contains chlorophyll, other colors also, other color leaves also, they contains chlorophyll. Do you understanding, Mari?
Yes, sir.
Contains chlorophyll and they will carry out a chemical reaction called as what? Photosynthesis reaction.
Photosynthesis.
Maximum amount, green color is not present, and maximum amount which color is present? Like red, yellow, blue color, and understanding light this
yes,
color.
Sir.
So even though they have these colors, they have what? They have a chlorophyll, and they will carry out what? Photosynthesis reaction. Do you understanding or not? Yes,
Sir,
sir?
one doubt, sir.
Ask me, Mari.
Sir, they will have chlorophyll, but less amount of sunlight they will absorb, sir.
I'm saying, yeah, the photosynthesis reaction rate is less. That is why these may not produce
Yes, sir.
fruits and all. They may not produce fruits and all. Only they will use as a decorative plants. Do you understand, Mari? Even flowers and all.
Yes,
Also,
sir.
do you understand? Only leaves will come. That's all. So the leaves having colors other than green.
Yes, sir.
Other than green. Also, they must have chlorophyll in them. But you may observe, actually what is happening, other than this chlorophyll, more amount, the large amount of red, violet, brown, or else any other pigments in such leaves, understand, masks. Mask means what?
Yes, sir.
Corona, we are using mask, correct or not?
Yes, sir.
It's like that. Same way, if you'll observe in these pictures also. So they also having a chlorophyll. But what is happening? This huge amount of this red color and huge amount of this yellow color, brown color, and this etc. colors. They are masks. What is the use? What is the meaning of masks? Mask means what? Cover. Do you understand?
Mask means covered overlayer.
Not making to visible. Do you understand, Rahari? That is what is
Yes,
happening.
sir.
Kaushik, are you understand, Kaushik? Actually,
Yes, sir, I can understand, sir.
every leaf, non-green plants also they are having a chlorophyll, but because of high amount of these other colors, they will cover, they will mask the chlorophyll present in them. Understand, Mare? Chlorophyll
Yes,
present.
sir.
So that is why
Present in them.
photosynthesis also takes place in leaves having color other than green also. Do you understand, Ra?
Yes, sir.
You have to remember. I hope you understand very well, correct? So every plant, every
Yes,
leaf,
sir.
they are having a chlorophyll. But why they are appearing different color, Ra? Because more amount of other colors like red, understand? What it is? Brown, yellow, etc.
Brown, yellow, blue.
Colors are masked. These colors are masked the chlorophyll present in the leaves. That's all. That is the reason behind it. Understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, Kaushik? Understood? That
Yes,
is
sir.
to that point you have to remember. Write it. What you will write? Right. The leaves having colors other than green. The leaves having colors. The leaves having colors. The leaves having colors other than green, also contains what? Also contains what?
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. Also contain chlorophyll. But actually what is happening? But actually large amount of red, brown, etc. colors is masks. What is the meaning of mask? Mask means what?
Mask means cover.
Cover the chlorophyll in leaves. That is what. So from this what we can
Yes,
say,
sir.
even though they don't have
Sir,
a,
screen down, sir.
yeah, even though they don't have a, so what we can say, even though they don't have a green color look, even the other colors is present, so we can say that photosynthesis reaction is carried out other than green color leaves also. Understand, Mari? That is a point.
Yes,
you
sir.
remember. Chlorophyll. So photosynthesis also takes place in, so photosynthesis also takes place in other than green color. Do you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Color leaves. That's all. Please note it down.
In
Completed, Mari?
Sir, wait, sir.
Okay, I am waiting.
Sir, screen down, sir.
Okay. Is it okay?
Aye, sir, sir.
Yeah. So let's start.
Yes, sir.
This is what. So this is all about the leaves other than leaves of various colors, other than green color. What else the leaves are having other than green color? Also, they have chlorophyll and they will carry out the chemical reaction called as photosynthesis. Understand, Ra? Now, let us
Yes,
take.
sir.
Is it the photosynthesis taking place only in the leaves, Mari, Hari, and Kaushik? Is it the
Sir,
photosynthesis?
no, sir. In cactus and all, it will take place in
That
stem,
is
sir.
what our next concept. So we are going to study the next concept is photosynthesis by plant parts other than leaves. Other than leaves, what kind of parts the photosynthesis will carried out? Like particularly in desert plants. Do you know it? Desert plants?
Yes, sir. Cactus.
All. Yes, cactus plants and all. So let us see now. So keep heading all of you. Photosynthesis by, please keep heading. Photosynthesis by plant parts other than leaves. By plant parts other than leaves. Do you understand, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Other than leaves. Okay. Now let us discuss. Is it
Yes,
till
sir.
now we have a doubt? Even though you are a kids, I know that you are all kids. I think already you have studied a little bit about the desert plants also. So you have a little bit idea. So not only the green leaves, other parts, wherever the plants having a green color pigment, all the parts they will carry it out called as what? They will carry it out
Chlorophyll.
as photosynthesis. Remember, normally photosynthesis takes place only in the leaves of the plants. So let us discuss generally this. See, biology is like a general only. You have to remember and you have to store in mind. So if we'll discuss these, Hari, are you understanding, Hari? So basically, if we'll consider this photosynthesis reaction, everywhere, most of the earth, wherever the plants you have, normally it will take place only in the leaves of the plant. Now, some plants, particularly if we consider, photosynthesis also takes place in other parts of the plants. Such kind of parts is only called as green stems, or else we can call them as green branches. What we should call?
Green stem or green branches.
Are green branches. Suppose you see, while I am growing the plant, have you noticed it, Mari and Hari, Kaushik? While I am growing the plant, small plants if you take, even though the stem is also in green color. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Once it has been well developed,
Yes, sir.
then only the stem is turns into brownish color, light brown color. Correct or not? When it is growing,
Yes, sir.
for example, a shoot of the plant, every plant, the shoot is always will be in green color. Correct or not? So,
Yes, sir.
when it is in green color, it will also carry out what? Photosynthesis. It will also
Photosynthesis.
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 Understand? So, like if you take some plants, not only the leaves, some other parts of the plants also carried out the photosynthesis reaction. That parts is only called as green stems, and also we can say that green branches. Green stems and green
branches.
green stems and green.
Sir, one doubt, sir. So bamboo trees also have green stems, sir. So it is having photosynthesis in the stem. Sir,
There also photosynthesis reaction will carry out, Mari.
in the stem also was there.
Stem also. Wherever you can see, that is what we can say.
Yes, sir.
Green stems and as well as green leaves, green branches. Three places: green leaves, green stems,
Yes,
and
sir.
green branches. Understand? So if you'll observe,
Yes, sir.
the green stems, let us come to the green stems and green branches, they can do photosynthesis because they are present in which color? Green color. So means in the sense of, they also contains what? These green stems and green branches contains what, Hari? They also
Chlorophyll.
chlorophyll. They also contains chlorophyll. So that
Chlorophyll.
they will carry out a chemical reaction called as photosynthesis reaction. Do you understanding, Ra? For example, if you take
Yes, sir.
the best example, if you take, what is the best example, Ra? Cactus plant. That is only called the desert plant.
Yes, sir.
Cactus having having tiny spine-like leaves to reduce the loss of water by a process called as, what is the loss of water process, Ra? In plants? What is the process called as? In normally evaporation. In plants, what we should call, Mari? I have taught you in water cycle. Transpiration. So if you take the desert plants, so they don't have actually no branches, no plant, no leaves specially. Correct or not? Desert plants like cactus.
Yes, sir.
So cactus plants, so it will be looks like stem, leaves and all, it will be like a together. Correct or not? No particular stem, no particular
Yes,
leaf. So they have very tiny and spine-like leaves. Tiny and spine-like leaves. What is that? Tiny and spine.
Tiny and
Understanding?
spine-like leaves.
So that they can carry it out everywhere they are having a green color pigment, so that they will carry out the photosynthesis reaction throughout the body of cactus. But why they have this kind of a spine-like leaves? Because to reduce
the loss of water.
See, without water, actually this is called as desert plant. Is it, Hari, desert having more water or less water? Very less.
No, sir, less water, sir.
You understanding? Very less water. So
Yes, sir.
if it is having normal leaves, then water is evaporated through transpiration. So that is why they don't have a particular leaves. Full body turns into tiny and spiny like leaves. So why they have like this means to reduce the water loss. What is that? To reduce the
water loss.
Water loss by which process? By transpiration. Understand?
By transpiration.
What is the transpiration?
Yes,
What is
sir.
transpiration? Loss of water by plants.
Transpiration like evaporation, sir.
Yeah, loss of water by plants.
Yes, sir.
By plants is called transpiration. Understand, Hari? Is called transpiration. Loss of water means evaporation. Correct or not, Mari? Hari, Kaushik. So
Yes, sir.
evaporation of water.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, evaporation of, Kaushik, you also remember, evaporation of water by plants is only.
Sir, little bit screen down, sir.
Yeah, evaporation of water by plants is called as transpiration. So if you take this desert plant like cactus, they have a tiny and spiny, understanding, spiny like leaves, because to reduce the loss of water by transpiration.
Yes,
so these tiny spine-like leaves of cactus plant cannot do photosynthesis. What they can do? Cannot do photosynthesis.
Cannot group photosynthesis.
Tiny, small leaves. They are not doing the
Yes,
photosynthesis. The stem and the branches of a cactus plant, which are green in color, which contain chlorophyll. Which contains chlorophyll. So
chlorophyll.
And the green branches of a cactus plant carry out the process of photosynthesis to make food for the plant. Understand, Mari? For example,
yes, sir.
Let us show the picture. I think you have a picture, correct? Do you have a picture in your textbook?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. For example, let me show
yes, sir.
Picture more clearly you can understand. So it is having a tiny spine-like leaves. Have you noticed it? This picture you observe once. This is having a tiny spike-like pictures. This is what? These are thorns we can call. This is called as thorns. Have you noticed it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Very. These
yes,
are looks like a leaves, but they are not the leaves because here no photosynthesis reaction is carried out. No photosynthesis. Because
and it is not in green color, sir.
It is not in green color. They are just for protecting from animals. Understand, Ra? Protecting from animals and the atmosphere.
Yes, sir.
Now, remind you can see the stem and the branches. This part, the stem and the branches, they have an important pigment which are in green color. What is that pigment called as? This all the part.
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. So they have this green color pigment called as chlorophyll. That is why this is known as, they will carry out the photosynthesis reaction across this stem and as well as other branches because they contains what?
Chlorophyll.
Contains chlorophyll.
Photosynthesis, sir.
Understand, Hari? That is what you have to.
Yes, sir.
So this is all about other than understanding the plants which will carry out the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis by plant parts other than leaves. Other than leaves, that is what? Stems and green stems and what? Green stems and as well as green branches. Understand, Ra? So if we take this cactus plant, it is having this green color pigment called as chlorophyll in its branches as well as stems, which they can do photosynthesis reaction. Understand, Mari, Hari? So that is why the stems and branches of all the plants and trees may not carry out the photosynthesis reaction, but those who contain the chlorophyll, definitely they will carry out the photosynthesis reaction. Understand, Mari? And every plant, when it is having, remember, when it is having when it is in growing stage, like a shoot we can call. Every shoot, when it is growing, it will be in a green color only. So during this time, it is also will carry what, Hari?
Sir, little bit screen down, sir.
It will also carry out
Photosynthesis.
Understanding, Ra? It will also carry
Yes, sir.
photosynthesis because by that time it is having a green color pigment called as what? Chlorophyll. Understand?
Chlorophyll.
That is
Yes,
what.
sir.
Write it. Understand? This is all about the concept.
Yes, sir.
of photosynthesis by plant parts other than leaves. So what is the other parts other than leaves? Green stems and
Green leaves.
green branches, Mari, leaves illa. Understood?
Yes,
Green
sir.
branches and green stems. That is what you have to remember.
Yeah.
So if you understand this,
Yes,
then
sir.
have you visited any water body? Hari, Mari, Kaushik, anybody? Have you visited any water body? Some of
Yes,
the,
sir. Marina.
for example, you can see while you are coming from Chennai to Pudukkottai, near what is that called as? What is that? Can you able to say that? Chettinadu, Chetpadu, somewhere it will come. What is that? Coimbatore.
What, sir?
Out of Chennai city, while you are coming to the Chengalpat. Do you know Chengalpat?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Chengalpat near one water body will come. Have you noticed it? One water body. While you are coming in train, you can see Mari. Or else,
Yes, sir.
not only there. If you go to anywhere near our Pudukkottai, so many temples we have. So every temple we have a temple pond. We like what we can say, Koner, something we can call. So there also,
Kolam.
on the surface of water, some kind of a green color substance is growing. Have you noticed it? If you'll see in the
Algae.
algae we can call. Understand? So algae. Have you seen it, Hari?
Yes, sir.
Color pigment is grown. A green color substance is grown on the surface of water. If you'll go any water bodies, village ponds, like a sunny kind of a small water bodies, small dips.
Yes, sir. In Tamil, they will say Pasi, sir.
Stagnant for a long period of time. There a green color pigment will grow. That is called as algae. What is it called? Algae. Now,
Algae.
either this algae is also, what is the color of this algae, Mari? The algae is also
Green, sir. It is
it will carry,
symbiotic relationship, sir.
it will carry the photosynthesis.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let us discuss our next concept is photosynthesis by algae. What is that?
Photosynthesis by algae.
Photosynthesis by algae. Please note it down. Photosynthesis by algae. Understand, Mari?
Algae.
ALG.
Yes, sir.
Now, let's see. Not only the big plants, those who are having a big leaves, or else those who are having a stems, means green stems and green branches. Not only they will carry the photosynthesis, even small plants. Understand, like a patches of a simply green layer of floating, which is floating on the surface of pond or lake or
Yes,
even
sir.
stagnant parts of river. That is what we should say that They also develop, like even swimming pools also. In the swimming pools which have not been cleaned for a long time, a green color substance used to grow. Have you noticed it? Even
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
tanks also, the water where it has been stagnant for a long period of time, there a green color substance has been developed. So this green layer is formed by the growth of a small tiny green plants, green plants like organisms, which we used to call as algae. What we should call? Algae. But
Algae.
spelling is algae. But how we need to pronounce Ra? Anybody pronunciation? Spelling is ALGAE.
Algae.
But how we have to pronounce it? That is what I want. We have to pronounce it as algae. What is that? Algae. Pronunciation. Mari.
Algae.
Algae. ALGE. Algae. Pronunciation is algae. Okay, da?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pronunciation is algae. But spelling is algae. Understand, Hari? ALGAE. Algae. Okay, da?
Yes, sir.
So that is what you have to remember. Photosynthesis by algae. Photosynthesis by algae. So which
Algae.
what read as a algae. Understand? So it is even a singular, it is actually algae is a plural form. What is the singular form of algae? What is the singular form of algae? Singular form.
Sir,
Alga.
alga.
Singular form. Understand the singular form? We can say
Yes, sir.
alga. What we should call?
Alga.
Alga. Please note it down.
Alga.
What is this alga? What is this alga or algae? Algae or algae? A green color, small like plants. That is what definition you have to write it. Right.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
What will write? Right. A green layer. A green layer is formed by the. A green layer. A green layer is formed by the. Is formed by the growth of tiny green plants, formed by the growth of tiny green plants, the growth of tiny green plants, the growth of tiny green plants like organisms, green plants like organism is called, what we should call, Ra? Is called algae.
Algae.
So where it will develop, Ramari? Hari. Where it will develop and when it will develop?
Yeah.
Develop
In the surfaces of the lake,
even
ponds.
water bodies, lakes, and even rivers where the water is stagnant. Understanding? Rivers, etc.
Yes, sir.
Where the water is stagnant, where the water is stagnant. What is the meaning of stagnant, Hari? Stagnant for long period of time. Understand, Ra?
Yes, sir.
So that is what you have to remember.
Water is not used, sir.
What?
Water is not used.
Not used, not cleaned. If any like swimming pools and all, if your water tank also, if you're not cleaning for years, you can see bottom part used to spread some kind of algae. Have you noticed it? Like we can say in
Yes, sir.
Pachi. In Tamil, what you can say? Pachi, like very slippery it will be
Yes,
there.
sir.
Yeah, that is. So that is only called
Yes,
as algae and pronounced as algae. Now, if you'll observe, this algae is also a large group of simple plant-like organisms. What are that? They are the large group of algae. Is the what?
Last.
A large group of plant-like organisms. Plant-like organisms.
Organism.
Plant-like organisms. So what will happen? Plant-like organisms. So they also
A
contain
large group of
large group of simple plant-like organisms. Large group of simple plant-like organisms. Understand, Ra?
Yes, sir.
plant-like organisms. Now, these green color, they are also in green color, means in the sense of also contains what? Green color. So contains what?
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll, sir. It also contains
Yes,
chlorophyll.
sir.
Chlorophyll. So if the chlorophyll contains what? Algae also contains chlorophyll.
Photosynthesis.
They will produce food by photosynthesis. They have chlorophyll, so they will start producing food by photosynthesis like other plants. Understand?
Yes,
Ra?
sir.
Understanding or
Yes,
not?
sir.
Produce food
Yes, sir.
like other plants. Like
Yes, sir.
other plants. That is what you have to remember. So, if you'll observe,
Yes, sir.
this algae is also having a green color pigment which is carried out the photosynthesis reaction like other plants, and they also will synthesize the food by the process of photosynthesis. Now let us discuss this algae. It is different from plants. Why it is? Can you able to say? Because plants and algae both are carrying out the photosynthesis reaction and both are in green color, but it is like a plant, but it is not a plant. Why? Because the only
Because it don't have roots.
plant is having leaves, plant is having stem, plant is having branches. But if you take the algae, what is happening? It is different from plant because do not have algae, do not have proper roots, do not have stem, and do not have leaves. That's all. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Only of structure.
That is all. Only they have green color pigment called as chlorophyll. That is why they are carrying the photosynthesis reaction.
Yes, sir.
Algae is different from. Understand, Ra? Different from what? Different from plants. Because, why? Because they have.
Because it don't have leaves, stems,
they do not
roots,
have-
roots.
please, note it down. They
Yes,
do
sir.
not have. They do not have roots, leaves, and stems like normal plants. But still they will carry out the photosynthesis reaction. Why? They will carry out the photosynthesis reaction because
Because they have chlorophyll.
photosynthesis is carried out because they also contains what? They contains chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll.
That's all. So the only reason why they behaves like a plants because they contains chlorophyll, except that nothing is present. That is why we can say algae also can carry out the what it will carry out? Photosynthesis reaction, and they will
Photosynthesis.
understand. They will
Yes, sir.
like a green color plants, how we are observing in our surrounding. Same
Yes, sir.
also will carry out the photosynthesis reaction. Now, those who are not seeing the algae yet, you can notice it, and next time if you go anywhere, you can see that. This is what we should call as algae. Understand, Mari?
Sir, I'm having network issues, sir. Wait a minute, sir.
Yeah, okay. So this is what we can say. Hari, can you able to see, Hari? This is what we should call as algae. Can you notice it? Which is floating on the water. Understand, Hari?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It is not having roots. No proper roots, no stem, and no leaves. Do you understanding, Ra? No roots, no stem, no leaves. It is just looks like a small plant like organisms which will float on surface of water. Float on surface of water. That's all. Do you understand, Ra? That's all. So this is all what we can say. What is photosynthesis reaction in algae plants? So algae are similar like plants because they are a large group of plant-like organisms, but they are different from plants because they do not have proper roots, they do not have proper stems, and even leaves also. That is the only difference between the plants and algae. But they contain chlorophyll. So both are under the family of what? Carrying the photosynthesis.
Yes, sir.
That's all. Understand, Mari? Can you able to see the picture? It is
Yes, sir.
float
sir.
on the surface of water. That's all. So this is the three things which we have studied in the today's class. So one is what? Other color leaves.
Sir,
Understand?
one is leaves of different colors.
Leaves of various or different colors. Next one, photosynthesis by plants.
Photosynthesis by plants.
other than leaves.
Other than leaves.
And the third one is photosynthesis by algae.
Photosynthesis by algae.
Then in coming class, we are going to
Yes, sir.
study synthesis of plant foods other than simple carbohydrates. So as we know that I have taught you already the photosynthesis reaction. Plants will produce only glucose. Correct or not, Hari? Mari? Glucose means
Yes,
food.
sir.
Oxygen. That food most probably it contains what? Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates means what we should call, Mari? Carbohydrates is known as
Carbohydrate,
glucose.
starch.
That is only starch.
Yes,
stored,
sir.
stored food is called as starch, but generally it is called as
Yes,
what?
sir.
Glucose. But is it
Glucose.
only using glucose? Is it any other thing is there? That is also we have to study. So other than glucose or carbohydrates, what the plants are producing and what kind of food they are making.
Yes, sir.
Is it making the proteins? Is it they're making the oils? Because other than glucose, they're storing the food. That stored food is called as what, Mari? The stored food is called as
Starch.
like that. Is it only the starch and glucose other than like oil, fats, proteins and other nitrogenous substance? This all they are present or not, and vitamins, minerals, etc. That is all we'll study in the next class, and finally we'll study what is the importance of photosynthesis. That's all. So with this I will stop the today's
Yes,
class.
sir.
Tomorrow we'll meet. Thank you all.